5 unmistakable signs you've outgrown your old life. Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." There comes a moment in life when you can no longer fit into the version of yourself that once felt safe. The friendships, habits, and even dreams that used to define you begin to lose their meaning, not because something is wrong, but because your soul has expanded beyond them. In this video, we'll explore the 5 unmistakable signs that you've outgrown your old life and are being called into a new chapter of spiritual awakening. As you listen, reflect on where you are in your own journey. Have you felt this quiet pull toward change? Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's grow together on spiritual wisdom. Sign 1. Old surroundings no longer feel like home. Familiar places, routines, and relationships begin to lose their warmth. Not because you've become distant or arrogant, but because something deep within you has evolved. What once felt like home now feels too small, too predictable, too repetitive for the soul that has tasted growth. You walk into the same spaces, yet they no longer resonate. You listen to the same conversations, yet they no longer reach your heart. This is not a rejection of your past, but an acknowledgement that your inner world has expanded beyond it. You've entered a stage of spiritual awakening where comfort begins to feel like confinement, and what used to soothe you now subtly suffocates you. It's as if your spirit is whispering that there's more truth, more depth, more authenticity waiting beyond the familiar walls you once called home. As your spirituality deepens, you realize that your energy no longer fits the old environment that once mirrored your former self. The friends you used to connect with may still laugh about the same things, but your laughter no longer carries the same spark. The hobbies that once excited you now feel hollow. The ambitions that once fueled you now seem shallow. You're not broken, you're awakening. Carl Jung described this as the process of individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are, not who the world told you to be. The world around you hasn't changed, but your perception of it has. You begin to see through the surface of things, the forced smiles, the empty noise, the illusion of belonging, and your soul quietly refuses to participate in what no longer feels real. The discomfort you feel is sacred. It's the universe's gentle nudge urging you toward growth. The restlessness that keeps you awake at night is not anxiety, it's expansion. Your spirit is preparing you to move from the known to the unknown, from imitation to authenticity. You start craving stillness, truth, and simplicity because your soul no longer finds nourishment in chaos or shallow pleasures. You begin to sense that your old life was a classroom and you finally graduated. There's no bitterness in this realization, only clarity. You can love what was and still outgrow it. You can be grateful for the past and still know it's time to move on. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, the quiet recognition that what once felt like safety has become a cage. You are being invited to step into wider horizons, to align with experiences that match your new vibration. The old world feels foreign because it was built for a version of you that no longer exists. And so, as you outgrow your old life, you are not losing anything real. You are shedding the layers that once kept you small. The people, places, and habits that fall away are simply making space for what truly belongs to your awakened self: peace, purpose, and truth. Do your old surroundings no longer feel like home to you? If yes, comment yes. If not, comment no. And if it happens only sometimes, comment sometimes. Sign 2. You crave solitude, not attention. When you begin to crave solitude more than attention, it is not loneliness, it is evolution. You start to realize that silence is no longer something to escape from, but something sacred to return to. You stop seeking noise, drama, and validation because you finally find peace in your own presence. The quiet becomes your teacher, your mirror, your healer. It reveals the wounds you've been running from and the strength you never knew you had. In solitude, you begin to understand that your worth does not depend on being seen, praised, or needed. It comes from being authentic, calm, and aligned with your own spirit. What used to feel like emptiness now feels like freedom, and you begin to treasure the stillness that once made you uneasy. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." As your awareness deepens, you start to see the truth behind those words. The old self was driven by the need for attention because that was how it survived. It measured its value through other people's eyes. But the new self, born from spiritual growth, no longer chases recognition. You begin to understand that real validation is quiet. It comes from the peace you feel when you no longer need to prove anything. Solitude becomes a sacred space where your soul can breathe, where your thoughts settle, and where you remember who you truly are without the world's noise pressing against your mind. In that quiet space, you begin to trust yourself again. You start to see that being alone does not mean being empty. It means being whole. You notice how the world's constant chatter used to pull you away from your center. How every opinion, expectation, and comparison created distance between you and your truth. Now, you begin to let that noise fade. You breathe in silence and feel it cleanse your spirit. You no longer depend on others to rescue you from discomfort because you've discovered that you can hold yourself. You sit with your fears, your doubts, your emotions, and you find that they soften in the presence of acceptance. This is the quiet power of spirituality. It teaches you that healing doesn't always come through noise, but through stillness. As this transformation unfolds, you stop chasing love that requires you to perform and start choosing peace that allows you to simply be. You no longer need to fill every moment with sound or company because your own presence has become enough. Solitude becomes your compass. It helps you discern who truly deserves your energy and who drains it. The ego will resist. It will whisper that something is wrong with you for withdrawing. But the soul knows this is not withdrawal. It is restoration. You are not isolating yourself from the world. You are reconnecting with what is real, what is eternal, what is sacred within you. In this space of stillness, you begin to see life more clearly. You hear your own intuition guiding you toward truth and peace. You feel grounded, centered, and whole. The old self needed attention to feel alive. The new self finds aliveness in silence, authenticity, and spiritual depth. Solitude is no longer your escape. It is your home. It is where your soul grows, where peace replaces chaos, and where you finally realize that your presence, exactly as it is, has always been enough. If solitude has become your sanctuary, it means your soul is evolving. Comment, "I choose peace" below to affirm your spiritual growth. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more spiritual wisdom on your awakening journey. Sign 3. You confront your shadow instead of escaping it. True healing begins the moment you stop running from your darkness and choose instead to face it with honesty and courage. Carl Jung's spiritual wisdom reminds us that the shadow of the repressed and hidden aspects of our personality is not an enemy to be feared, but a teacher waiting to be acknowledged. When you begin to confront the anger, fear, shame, and pain you once buried, something profound happens within you. The energy once trapped in denial becomes the fuel for transformation. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." To face your shadow is to walk straight into your pain without judgment, to look into the mirror of your soul and say, "I am willing to understand you." It's uncomfortable, but it's real. And in that raw honesty, you start to reclaim the power you unknowingly gave away to fear. As you bring awareness to what you've been avoiding, your triggers stop being curses and become teachers. Instead of reacting, you begin to reflect, asking yourself, not, "Why is this happening to me?" but, "What is this revealing about me?" That single shift from blame to awareness marks the birth of true consciousness. Every moment of discomfort becomes a doorway to deeper understanding. Every wound an invitation to evolve. You begin to see that your shadow isn't trying to destroy you. It's trying to reunite you with the parts of yourself you abandoned long ago. Spiritual awakening, as Carl Jung understood it, is not about escaping pain or pretending to be endlessly positive. It's about embracing the totality of your being, both light and dark, and allowing that union to heal you from the inside out. When you integrate your shadow instead of rejecting it, you begin to move beyond duality. Emotions once labeled as negative reveal their hidden purpose. Anger becomes clarity and strength. Fear sharpens your intuition. Pain deepens your compassion. Shame dissolves into humility. You realize that nothing within you was ever meant to be suppressed. It was meant to be understood. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate, Jung warned. This is why so many people repeat the same patterns. They are living under the influence of an unseen self. But the moment you choose to face that inner darkness with awareness, fate transforms into freedom. The deeper you descend into your hidden self, the more you rise into authenticity. The false masks fall away, the pretenses fade, and what remains is the truth. This process is not glamorous. It's raw, emotional, and sacred. You might feel moments of chaos, even grief, as the old version of you begins to dissolve. But that chaos is not destruction, it's rebirth. Through it, you come to realize that every shadow was simply light in disguise, waiting for your recognition. You stop trying to be only good and start becoming whole. That is the essence of Carl Jung's spiritual wisdom. You cannot find the light by denying the dark. When you finally make peace with your shadow, you discover the quiet strength of someone who has met every part of themselves and chosen love over fear. If this message resonates with you, remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Your journey of shadow integration and true spiritual awakening continues with every insight you uncover. Sign 4. You respond with awareness instead of reacting. When you've truly begun to outgrow your old life, something subtle yet extraordinary happens. You stop reacting and you start responding. The old patterns that once controlled you begin to dissolve as awareness replaces instinct. You no longer explode in anger, rush to defend your ego, or feel the need to win every argument. Instead, you pause. You take a deep breath and allow the moment to reveal what it's trying to teach you. What once triggered chaos within now becomes a quiet signal of where healing still needs to happen. Emotional maturity is not about becoming emotionless. It's about mastering the sacred space between stimulus and response. As Carl Jung beautifully taught, individuation, the process of becoming whole, begins when you become conscious of your own patterns and start choosing wisdom over impulse. This is where spirituality meets psychology, where your spiritual awakening takes root in everyday life. You begin to realize that peace is more valuable than being right, that understanding holds more strength than judgment, and that awareness is the highest form of intelligence. The people who once irritated you now become mirrors reflecting your inner world, showing you where your soul still seeks balance. When someone disrespects you, you see the lesson instead of the insult. When life delays your plans, you sense divine timing instead of injustice. You no longer chase control because you trust the deeper current guiding you. Your reactions slow, your clarity deepens, and your soul begins to breathe freely. In this awakened state, you learn to observe yourself in real time. You notice when your heart tightens, when your breath shortens, when your ego wants to fight back, and instead of acting blindly, you hold that energy with compassion. That pause becomes your power. You start to feel that growth isn't about perfection, but presence. You understand that no one can steal your peace unless you hand it over. You stop seeking validation from others because you found something far more fulfilling: inner alignment. It's not about suppressing emotion, it's about channeling it into conscious action. You realize that a calm mind can still speak truth, that silence can still set boundaries, and that detachment can coexist with love. This transformation marks a sacred turning point in your spiritual awakening. It's the moment you stop being a product of your environment and start being a creator of your experience. You begin to see how every trigger, every misunderstanding, and every delay is designed to bring you closer to your higher self. The world around you doesn't change immediately, but your perception does. And that shift changes everything. You find freedom in your ability to choose awareness, and with every mindful response, you rewrite the story of your life. That is when your spirituality stops being theory and becomes embodied truth, where you no longer just talk about peace. You live it, breathe it, and radiate it in every interaction. That is how you know you've outgrown your old life. You no longer react from the chaos of who you were, but respond from the wisdom of who you're becoming. If you're still here and truly resonating with this message, drop a comment below saying, "I'm aware." Your words remind us that consciousness is growing one soul at a time. Sign 5. You're at peace with not knowing what's next. You begin to feel an inner peace that doesn't come from knowing, but from trusting. The need for certainty dissolves like mist at sunrise, and in its place comes quiet faith in the unfolding of life. You stop trying to predict the future or control the outcome, because deep within, you've realized that control is the very thing that keeps you anxious and small. Instead, you surrender to the rhythm of existence, allowing the current of life to carry you where you are meant to go. Endings no longer terrify you. They begin to feel like redirections, gentle nudges from the universe, whispering that it's time to evolve. What once felt like chaos now feels sacred, a vast open space where your next self is being born. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And that truth begins to echo within you. You start to notice that every time you release your grip on what should be, something wiser within takes over. The unconscious starts guiding you not through logic, but through intuition, synchronicities, and inner knowing. You begin to see that the path ahead doesn't require sight, it requires trust. You stop labeling transitions as losses because you understand that the death of the old is the birth of the new. The job that ended, the relationship that faded, the dream that dissolved, none of it was punishment. It was preparation. Each ending carved space for your becoming. Each silence taught you to listen. And each detour revealed how divinely orchestrated your journey truly is. True spirituality is learning to let go of the illusion of control. It's the quiet courage to sit in the unknown and still call it holy. You no longer chase light through other people because you've discovered that you are the source of it. You stop waiting for clarity to feel safe because your safety now comes from within. You find beauty in uncertainty, poetry in change, and grace in surrender. The unknown stops being something to fear. It becomes your teacher. It strips away your need to know and gives you the strength to simply be. It humbles the mind, but elevates the soul. And so, peace begins to take root, not because everything is certain, but because you no longer need it to be. You can breathe in the middle of unanswered questions, and you can walk forward even when the path is still unfolding beneath your feet. You no longer rush to fix what feels uncomfortable. You let life reshape you through it. You learn that peace isn't the absence of storms, but the calm within them. You no longer demand to see the full map. You trust the compass of your heart. The unknown becomes your sacred ally, a field where faith and surrender meet, and where you finally understand that you were never lost. You are simply being guided home to yourself, to that quiet truth within that whispers, "You are the light," and that is enough. To affirm your faith in life's unfolding mystery, comment below, "I trust the unknown." Your words remind others that true peace begins when we stop needing all the answers and start walking calmly into what's next. As you continue your journey of growth, remember outgrowing your old life isn't loss, it's liberation. Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." Every moment of stillness, every quiet realization, and every letting go is part of your awakening. You are not who you used to be, and that is something to celebrate. Let peace become your new rhythm, and trust the unfolding of your becoming. If this message spoke to your soul, share your thoughts in the comments. What part of your old self are you finally ready to release? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and walk with us as we continue exploring the deeper path of awakening and self-discovery. Carl Jung reveals, you are a living karma. People regret how they treated you. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. Wayne Dyer. But what if your very existence becomes their karma? What if your growth, your strength, your light becomes the mirror that reveals their own shadows? Carl Jung taught us that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But what about those who mistreat you? In this episode of Spiritual Wisdom, we're diving deep into the unseen spiritual dynamics behind your presence in other people's lives and why they may one day regret how they treated you. Are you the karmic reflection that wakes others up? Share your story in the comments and let's explore this profound truth together. 1. Chosen ones are living karma. You were never just a side character in their lives. You were the mirror that shattered their illusions, the storm that cleared their path, the consequence they never saw coming. Every encounter with you was a sacred contract, an energetic agreement written not in ink, but in truth. Those who honored your light were elevated doors opened, clarity arrived, blessings poured in. But those who tried to manipulate you, betray you, or diminish your presence were unknowingly writing their own karmic downfall. Because you didn't just show up with love, you showed up with divine precision. Your presence wasn't convenient, it was catalytic. You walked into rooms with the energy of raw honesty, exposing facades, unraveling masks, and forcing people to confront what they spent years suppressing. The pain they tried to project onto you was their own wound echoing back. They didn't reject you. They rejected the parts of themselves that your purity made impossible to hide. And in doing so, they ignited a karmic chain reaction that would echo through their relationships, their mental clarity, their peace, and their spiritual direction. You weren't sent to entertain people's egos. You were sent to awaken souls. The moment you stepped into your spiritual awakening, everything about you became a vibration of accountability. You couldn't be around deception without it surfacing. You couldn't stay silent in the face of lies without your silence becoming thunder. People either evolved with you, or life forced them to evolve through loss. Your energy was never random. It was designed to hold a spiritual frequency that made falsehoods collapse under the weight of presence. Carl Jung taught us that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And that's what happened. Your very existence became an invitation to heal, to grow, or to destroy themselves, trying to avoid the mirror you held up. Those who tried to reduce you to a disposable chapter now reread your presence as a sacred scripture they misjudged. You were the lesson they didn't want, but now crave. And no apology, no closure, no revision can erase what their actions etched into karma. Your purity never needed to prove itself. It simply revealed the impurity around it. The discomfort people felt in your presence was never about your energy being too much. It was about their masks cracking under the heat of your authenticity. Some chose transformation and were blessed. Others chose resistance and were broken. Not because you wanted revenge, but because the universe doesn't allow deception to flourish around divine frequency. Your spiritual awakening was their spiritual consequence. You weren't their punishment, you were their opportunity. And now, they live with the echo of your absence. They watch your light stretch beyond their reach, and in that distance, they meet themselves. Let them remember. Let them carry that weight. Your path now is elevation, not explanation. Keep rising. Let your growth be karma. Let your peace be the proof. Let your spiritual wisdom be the silence that speaks louder than regret. Comment below. I am a mirror of truth. If you embrace your power to reveal and transform, let your presence be the force that awakens those around you. 2. You are both a blessing and a warning. You are both a blessing and a warning because your presence is not just emotional, it's energetic, psychological, and karmic. Carl Jung reminded us that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And when they meet you, they're not just meeting a person, they're meeting everything they haven't faced. You don't walk into a room quietly, you vibrate truth into the spaces where people have lived in lies. You shake the illusions, you wake the asleep, you reveal the subconscious. Your very existence activates unresolved karma in others, and for those living in denial, that's terrifying. You are the living mirror that reflects their shadows, their guilt, and their mistreatment of others. You're not here to punish, but you are here to reveal. And sometimes, the most spiritual thing you can do is not allow someone back into your life just so they can avoid learning the lesson your absence is meant to teach. Your silence speaks volumes, and your distance is not cruelty. It's divine intelligence. People will regret how they treated you, not because you raised your voice, but because you removed your energy. You are not revenge, you are realization. You are not rage, you are resonance. You are not here to play small, so others feel secure in their illusions. You are here to shake the foundation of falsehood. And the moment someone tries to manipulate you, your spirit responds with spiritual wisdom they didn't see coming. That's why you feel misunderstood, because you're not here to be understood by the asleep. You're here to awaken them. You don't just shine light, you show people what's been hiding in the dark. When someone disrespects you, they're not just hurting a person, they're dishonoring a divine assignment. That's why the consequences feel spiritual. That's why their guilt lingers. You are not just someone they mistreated. You are the karmic checkpoint in their journey. The one who marks the line between who they were and who they're now forced to become. You were sent as a gift, but when they couldn't see that, the universe transformed your energy into a teacher. Some people won't learn until you walk away. Some souls won't awaken until they feel the loss of your energy. That's when they realize you weren't just kindness, you were karmic accountability wrapped in grace. You are both medicine and mirror. To the aligned, you're healing. To the unhealed, you're a warning. Carl Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, and you force people to see themselves completely. That's why you intimidate. That's why your aura can't be faked. You embody truth. You move with discernment. You vibrate with clarity, and that makes you spiritually untouchable. You're not here to prove your worth. You are the worth others must rise to meet. And until they do, your energy will haunt them not out of malice, but out of misalignment. Because people never forget the moment they met someone who made them feel both exposed and inspired by someone who could have been a forever blessing if only they had been ready to receive it. You are the storm and the stillness, the lesson and the love, the test and the treasure. Your presence rewrites timelines. Your energy awakens sleeping souls. And the longer they took you for granted, the more profound the realization becomes. They didn't just lose a person, they lost a karmic miracle dressed in human form. You are not here to be easy. You are here to be unforgettable. You are both a blessing and a warning, and the ones who truly see you will never make the mistake of confusing the two. 3. People regret mistreating you. When people mistreat you and later regret it, It is never just about emotions or broken relationships. It runs much deeper. Carl Jung reminded us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And your presence forces people to face that unconscious truth. As a chosen one, you embody a rare form of spirituality that unsettles those who are not ready for growth. Your energy works like a mirror, reflecting their hidden fears, their insecurities, and their unresolved shadows. Some resist that reflection, refusing accountability, rejecting development, and mocking the very light that was sent to bless them. But the moment you step away, the absence of your spiritual presence shifts the balance of their lives. What once brought them peace, healing, and wisdom is gone, and they are left to wrestle with the consequences of their actions. You carry a divine light that not only guides your own path, but also illuminates the darkness in others. When people betray, deceive, or dismiss you, they are not simply harming you. They are rejecting the higher frequency of spirituality you brought into their lives. And the universe, which always seeks balance, responds with precision. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." Those who choose manipulation, envy, or deceit align themselves with negativity, and karma begins its work. When you leave, you take your sacred energy with you, and suddenly they notice opportunities fading, relationships collapsing, and inner peace replaced by chaos. At first, denial blinds them. Pride convinces them they are unaffected. Yet time has a way of revealing truth, and gradually they realize that life was smoother, lighter, and fuller when you were near. Regret becomes their silent companion. They watch you from a distance, hoping you have stumbled, but instead they see you thriving, rising higher, and walking in alignment with your destiny. That success becomes their unspoken punishment, not because you sought revenge, but because the universe restores balance. As written in Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, "Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Your elevation becomes living proof that spiritual development always triumphs over betrayal and dishonor. Every new level you reach takes you into a frequency that cannot be accessed by those who mistreated you, unless they choose humility, healing, and self-awareness. But not everyone is prepared for that path. Healing demands courage, and many would rather linger in regret than confront their shadows. That is why they remain as spectators, observing your growth while chained by their own choices. Yet their regret is not your responsibility. You are not here to soothe their conscience or carry their lessons. You are here to grow, to embody greatness, and to fulfill the divine plan over your life. No betrayal can block what has been written for you. So let them watch and let them wonder, but never let their regret hold you back. Your presence is rare, your energy is sacred, and your journey is designed to elevate you beyond the reach of those who once underestimated you. Each step forward is proof that your spiritual development cannot be hindered by the past. Continue to rise, continue to trust the balance of karma, and remember that your destiny is unfolding exactly as it should. Are you ready to step into your power and let the universe handle the rest? If so, comment below. I rise above to affirm your strength and embrace your journey forward. 4. You disrupt illusions. You disrupt illusions simply by existing, because your very energy carries a force that unsettles those who hide behind deception. You do not need to expose lies with effort, for your essence itself reflects truth. When you enter a room, facades begin to crumble, not because you attack them, but because authenticity naturally dissolves what is false. Those who resist change feel uncomfortable in your presence, and instead of admitting that your light reveals their shadows, they project blame onto you. They see you as the cause of their unease, when in reality, you are the mirror reflecting what they do not wish to face. For some, you embody living karma. You do not wish harm upon anyone, but your spiritual awakening acts as a constant reminder of the integrity and courage they lack. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In the same way, your presence forces others to confront what they hide, and when they are not ready, they turn to criticism, rejection, or attempts to dim your light. They do not realize that their discomfort is not about you, but about their resistance to transformation. Deep down, they know your very being urges them to evolve, yet they remain in the battle they are unwilling to fight. You have been underestimated many times. Your kindness was mistaken for weakness, your silence for ignorance. People thought they could take advantage of your generosity, only to later feel the emptiness when you withdrew. Regret then begins to haunt them, for they remember dismissing you, rejecting your wisdom, or trying to wound your spirit, only to discover they are stuck in cycles you broke free from long ago. While they remain bound by illusions, you rise higher, embrace peace, and transform pain into strength. As Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." And you chose growth. Your journey was never about revenge or proving yourself. You never needed validation from those who could not see your worth. Every betrayal and every rejection became a divine test, shaping you into someone unshakable. You walked through the fire, not to be destroyed by it, but to emerge purified and resilient. That is the essence of intelligent spiritual wisdom. It is not merely seeing the truth, but embodying it with every step. Never dim your light to make others comfortable. Those meant for you will recognize and honor your truth, while those who resist will only reveal their own nature. You are not here to please. You are here to awaken, to inspire, and to heal. When people regret how they treated you, it is not your burden to carry, for that lesson belongs to them. Your presence alone is a catalyst for transformation, and though not everyone can handle it, those who are destined will be drawn to your light. Keep walking in alignment, for your path is sacred, and your awakening is the proof that truth cannot be silenced. If you're ready to break free from illusions and embrace the truth, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's awaken together. 5. You are a reflection and a test. You were never just another person walking through life. You were always a mirror, a reflection of truth that others could not ignore. Simply by being yourself, you revealed the hidden nature of those around you. Some felt uplifted and inspired in your presence because your light awakened the part of them that longed for growth. Others, confronted by their own shadows, rejected you, mistreated you, or even betrayed you. Their treatment of you was never about your worth. It was always a reflection of their own inner struggles. As Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. In this sense, you are living karma, a reminder that no one can escape the energy they release into the world. Your energy works like a spiritual mirror, exposing what lies beneath the surface. Those who are honest and aligned with growth recognize you as a blessing. They see in you wisdom, resilience, and authenticity, and they are drawn closer to their own truth through your presence. But those who live in dishonesty and illusion feel threatened by you. Your light unsettles them, reminding them of their own shortcomings, and instead of confronting themselves, they project their discomfort onto you. They may belittle you, disrespect you, or try to dim your presence, but none of this defines you. Their actions are only proof of their own fear and insecurity. This is why some people feel peace around you, while others carry resentment. Those who cherish you are walking in alignment with truth. They feel your energy as guidance. Those who resist you are clinging to falsehood, unable to face what your presence reveals. In modern life, you can see this clearly in relationships, workplaces, and friendships. Genuine souls will honor you, while insecure ones will compete, gossip, or try to undermine you. But their reactions are not yours to carry. You are not meant to shrink yourself to ease their discomfort. The universe balances everything, and the law of karma never fails. When people mistreat you, they set the stage for their own lessons. Life has a way of circling back, showing them the cost of their choices. You don't need to seek revenge or prove anything. The same people who overlooked or betrayed you will one day regret it, not because you wish for it, but because they will feel the emptiness of losing your energy. Your presence is not replaceable, and its absence becomes a silent teacher. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand apart as a beacon of truth. Being chosen comes with challenges, isolation, misunderstanding, and betrayal. Yet it also comes with divine protection. Every difficulty strengthens your spirit and deepens your wisdom. Your task is not to fight battles already taken care of by the universe, but to keep shining, keep walking, and trust the path unfolding before you. Those meant to journey with you will find you, and those who cannot handle your light will remove themselves. Your presence alone is enough. You are living karma, a reflection of truth, and proof that no one escapes the energy they put into the world. If this message resonates with you, comment below, "I am a mirror," to embrace your true reflection and attract clarity into your life. 6. You trigger change in people. There is a power within you that you may not even recognize, yet others feel it the moment they are in your presence. Carl Jung reminded us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And this is exactly why your energy unsettles people. You are not trying to intimidate or expose them, but your very being becomes a mirror reflecting the parts of themselves they work so hard to hide. Your presence draws out their shadows, their unspoken guilt, their buried insecurities, and that is why some people feel nervous, restless, or even threatened around you. Gloria Steinem's words capture this perfectly. The truth will set you free, but first, it will make you uncomfortable. You are that uncomfortable truth, a living reminder of what they are avoiding within themselves. Because of this, some may distance themselves or even mistreat you, not because you are in the wrong, but because your light reveals what they cannot bear to face. They may mock you, betray you, or dismiss your kindness, but every action is just a reflection of their inner conflict. Yet life is always ruled by balance. and spiritual wisdom teaches us that energy will always return to its source. The love you give, the patience you show, the light you carry, all of it will come back multiplied. And the pain, dishonesty, or cruelty directed toward you will also circle back, not through your revenge, but through the natural laws of karma. In time, those who underestimated you will see their actions clearly, and regret will rise in their hearts. By then, you will already be beyond their reach, elevated into a higher state of spiritual development where their opinions no longer matter. Gandhi once said, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win." And your life is proof of this timeless truth. You don't need to fight back or prove your worth. Your growth is your victory. Your transformation is your answer, and your success is your karma. Without any effort to harm them, those who mistreated you will face the very lessons they tried to avoid. Life will orchestrate moments that mirror their behavior, and when that time comes, they will remember how they treated you. But their regret is not a weight for you to carry. It belongs to them. Your only responsibility is to keep walking your path, to keep shining, and to keep rising higher in your divine purpose. As another wise saying goes, when you are truly powerful, you do not need to harm others. Your energy alone rearranges the universe, so never shrink to make others feel comfortable. Never dim your light for spaces that were never designed to hold it. You are not here to fit in. You are here to shift energies, to awaken truth, and to embody transformation. Spirituality is not about pleasing everyone. It is about living as proof that light always overcomes shadow. Those who mistreated you will eventually look back with regret, but by then, you will already be walking in your destiny, radiant and untouchable. Your life itself is a lesson in spiritual wisdom, and your energy is the undeniable reminder that the universe always brings balance. If this message resonates with you, affirm your power in the comments. My energy transforms everything around me. I embrace my divine presence and limitless potential. 7. Your silence is powerful. Those who once mistreated you, belittled you, or tried to manipulate your spirit will eventually face the undeniable truth that they were wrong about you, because your silence was never weakness, but a force they could not comprehend. They thrived on your reactions, feeding off your anger, your explanations, your attempts to defend yourself, and they believed their control depended on how deeply they could pull you into their chaos. But when you chose to master yourself, when you stopped responding and refused to engage, everything they built crumbled. Silence stripped away their illusions and exposed the emptiness of their power. Suddenly, their words echoed back to them. Their manipulation turned into noise they could no longer escape, and the darkness they tried to project outward forced them to confront itself. There is profound spiritual wisdom in this choice. Silence is not surrender. It is elevation. It is the act of rising above the battlefield and refusing to wrestle in the mud with those who crave your energy. As the saying goes, never wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty, but only the pig enjoys it. By walking away, you shift the power dynamic, because the moment you remove yourself, they lose access to your light, your patience, and your sacred energy. In modern life, whether in relationships, workplaces, or friendships, this truth repeats itself when you stop explaining, stop defending, and simply move forward. You reclaim your peace, and declare that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on chaos. Those who wronged you are left to sit in the misery they once tried to inflict upon you. Without your kindness, without your presence, without your light, their world feels hollow and regret takes root. And here lies the divine truth. You are their karma. Not by seeking revenge, not by lowering yourself to their level, but simply by continuing to live in alignment with your truth. Your growth, your success, your serenity become proof that their attempts to break you only made you stronger. This is the essence of spirituality and spiritual awakening. To rise above manipulation, to transform pain into power, and to let your very existence be the mirror that reflects their mistakes back to them. Every step you take in silence, every moment you choose peace over reaction, becomes a declaration that your soul cannot be controlled. They may regret how they treated you, but by the time they awaken to your worth, you will already have ascended beyond their reach. Your silence is power, your energy is sacred, and your elevation is the greatest response of all. Stay connected with our community of wisdom by subscribing to our channel. Here, we uncover the truth about energy, manipulation, and self-mastery, empowering you to rise above negativity. Remember, your peace is your power. Choose silence, walk away, and let them face their own darkness. 8. You were sent to stand out, not fit in. You were never meant to blend into the background because the universe designed you to stand out. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And your true self carries an energy that cannot be hidden. Without forcing, without demanding, your very presence shifts the atmosphere. People feel something stir inside them when they meet you, even if they cannot name it. Some are inspired, awakened to their own journey of self-discovery, while others feel exposed because your light uncovers the shadows they have been trying to bury. This is why you have known betrayal, rejection, and resistance, not as proof of weakness, but as evidence of the deep truths your spirit reveals to those who come close. Your energy does not attract attention because you seek it, but because your soul vibrates at a frequency that demands change. No one can stay stagnant around you. They are either inspired to rise higher, or their hidden nature surfaces, showing who they really are. That is why you may have been dismissed, disrespected, or taken for granted in past relationships. Those who mistreated you failed to recognize that they had been given the rare opportunity to walk beside someone carrying intelligence, spiritual wisdom, and a soul awakened to its divine essence. Now, as you grow stronger, they carry the weight of regret, realizing too late that your presence was not just company, it was transformation. You do not need to chase revenge or force people to regret how they treated you, because your life itself is karma in motion. The universe balances what you cannot. The lessons you left in the lives of others echo long after you have moved forward. Some will one day realize they stood in the presence of someone extraordinary, someone whose light was a gift. But by the time that revelation arrives, you will already have stepped into a greater version of yourself, rising higher, walking with clarity, and aligned with your divine calling. Jung reminds us, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You were the mirror that forced them to see what they tried to hide, and now their fate is to live with the truth they once denied. To be chosen is to embrace the solitude that sometimes comes with the path. It means accepting that not everyone is meant to stand beside you. Some drift away, not because you are unworthy, but because they are unready for the transformation your presence demands. Do not dim your light to ease their discomfort. You were born to awaken, to heal, and to inspire. The universe has placed you exactly where you need to be, surrounded by those who are ready to rise with you, while others fall away by the natural law of growth. Every rejection, every betrayal, and every ounce of regret others carry is simply part of the design that pushes you closer to your destiny. Stay unwavering, because your journey is unfolding with divine precision. Let people remember you, regret losing you, and learn from the absence of your energy. You were never created to fit in. You were created to stand out as a living reminder that light cannot be hidden. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, the intelligence of spiritual wisdom, and the sacred truth of walking as your authentic self. 9. Your energy is unstoppable. Your energy is unstoppable, carrying a frequency that no manipulation or attack could ever suppress, because what sustains you is not external, but deeply spiritual, a force that no human hand can take away. Many mistook your humility for weakness and your kindness for naivety, believing they had control over your destiny. Yet you were always aware, always discerning, sensing the betrayals before they unfolded, and choosing not to fall into the trap of proving them wrong, but to remain faithful to proving yourself right. Now, as you rise into your true power, those who once sought to diminish your light are forced to watch from the shadows, unable to ignore the brilliance of your transformation, because spiritual awakening does not shrink under pressure. It expands, it elevates, it transforms, and you, the chosen one, are the very embodiment of transformation. Every hardship you endured was not wasted, but woven into the fabric of your becoming. Every tear, sleepless night, and lonely silence became a sacred initiation, not punishment, but preparation. For the path of a chosen soul was never meant to be easy. Betrayal taught you discernment. Loss carved resilience into your spirit. Solitude gave you unshakable faith in yourself and in the divine order guiding your steps. Looking back, the once insurmountable obstacles now reveal themselves as stepping stones, shaping your strength, awakening your spirit, and proving that what once looked like suffering was in truth the refining fire of destiny. Those who laughed at your pain now stand silenced by your triumph, burdened by regret, as they realize you were never a victim, but a vessel of greatness they could not comprehend. The world has long conditioned people to stay small, to settle for mediocrity, to fear the unknown, but your very essence refuses to be confined by such limits. You are not here to blend in. You are here to disrupt illusions, to shift realities, to break generational cycles, to awaken others from the sleep of conformity. Your presence alone challenges the false comfort of the ordinary, and that is why your path was heavy, because the energy you carry is powerful enough to stir the very fabric of existence. And now, as you rise beyond every limitation, those who doubted you are confronted by the undeniable truth of your transformation, witnessing divine justice unfold in real time, forced to face that their mistreatment was never hidden from the universe. You are the living proof that spiritual power transcends all boundaries, the embodiment of karma itself. reminding the world that every word, every action, every intention leaves an imprint. Those who once dismissed your vision now long to understand the secret of your radiance, yet they cannot, because the energy you embody cannot be duplicated. It is divine, it is rare, it is yours alone. While they wrestle with regret, you move forward untouched, unstoppable, aligned fully with your higher calling. You are the karma they never foresaw, the lesson they never wanted to learn, the truth they cannot escape. You stand tall in your authenticity, walking in a light that was never meant to be hidden, carrying a power the world has yet to see in full. And when it does, they will know they never had the power to break you, for you were always destined to rise. If this message has awakened something deep within you, affirm your power in the comments. I am unstoppable. Every challenge has made me stronger. I am here to transform reality. 10. Solitude was part of your journey. There were moments when solitude pressed against your heart like an unbearable weight, when the people you trusted turned their backs, and relationships that once felt unshakable suddenly fell apart. Yet that solitude was never a curse. It was a blessing in disguise, a divine stage of preparation. The universe was not abandoning you, but refining you, sharpening your vision, deepening your intuition, and strengthening your inner power so you could carry the kind of wisdom that cannot be taught by comfort. In the stillness of those lonely hours, you found clarity to see through deception, resilience to rise from betrayal, and courage to continue even when no one else stood beside you. As Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you, and every wound you carried became the opening through which your light poured. Once, you were dismissed, underestimated, and even mocked. Your kindness was misread as weakness, your loyalty taken for granted. But now, those same people watch from afar, filled with regret. They sense the shift in your energy, the undeniable presence you carry, the aura of wisdom and strength that demands respect. You have become divinely set apart, and in losing you, they lost a blessing they never understood. Their regret is their karma, the return of their own choices, the echo of every moment they failed to honor what was sacred. You never needed revenge because your transformation itself became the answer. The universe worked on your behalf, and your thriving became the most powerful response to betrayal. As Carl Jung revealed, until people make the unconscious conscious, it directs their lives, and they call it fate. Those who wronged you now confront the consequences of their unconscious actions, seeing clearly only after you have risen beyond them. Your existence, your success, your healing, these speak louder than any words of retaliation could. The law of energy is simple. What we give is what we receive, and their own choices have returned to them. You are no longer the person they once knew. You have elevated, healed, and embraced your spiritual power. Spirituality and spiritual development have transformed you into someone aligned with a greater destiny, one that surpasses the imagination of those who doubted you. Your solitude was not abandonment, but sacred preparation, a divine pause to reconnect you with your higher calling. It was never about who left or who stayed. It was about awakening the light within you that no one could take away. Do not dwell on the past or waste your energy on those who failed to see your worth. Walk boldly into your destiny, trusting that divine timing has always been on your side. Your life now stands as living proof that pain can transform into wisdom, betrayal into strength, and solitude into awakening. And as those who once underestimated you look on with regret, they will finally understand you were never just another person in their story. You were the lesson their soul had to learn. If this message resonates with you, comment, "I am grateful for my transformation," to affirm your journey. Your solitude was never abandonment, it was preparation. And remember this, just because they couldn't see your worth doesn't mean it wasn't there. Carl Jung once said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." So keep rising, keep walking in your truth, and let karma do its quiet work. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. Tap the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos, because your journey of spiritual growth is just beginning.